Does anyone really know what hormones do? There is so much talk about women's hormonal health, but most women are left even more confused about what it means for them and what to do about it. The confusion ends now.
An award-winning German nutrition scientist created a powerful herbal formula called Hormone Harmony, which contains 12 powerful adaptogens into one single capsule. Each of these ingredients is carefully selected based on scientific evidence and has been proven effective in clinical studies for women of various ages and hormonal profiles.
Happy Mammoth, the company that produces Hormone Harmony, is famous for its zero compromise policy. No GMOs, artificial fillers or flavors, or any other junk. Only science-backed ingredients in amounts that are clinically proven.
What makes this formula unlike anything else on the market is that it tackles multiple hormone imbalances at the same time, creating a cascade of benefits all throughout the body and mind.
Hormone Harmony has over 50,000 raving reviews from women all over the world, with 98% of them saying they'd gladly recommend it to their friends and family.
For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code BLAME at checkout.
You can try Hormone Harmony risk-free and get 15% off your first order with code BLAME at checkout.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Hello, Poppy. Welcome to another episode. How short is that shirt? That's okay, I won't look. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's some titty migration that can happen. Yeah, flying the coop. But it's cute. It's very cute. Welcome to a brand new episode of But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever been wrong. And we're going to continue that streak today where we've got like a bunch of segments on the show. What you really need to know is we want you to vote on who you think was wrong in each part of the episode. And you do that by going over to our Instagram story after the episode is out. Make sure you follow us so you know when that is posted, when the stories are there. And we've got polls. So you vote who was wrong and then write in why you voted the way you did. And then on our Tuesday episode called See You Next Tuesday, yeah, it is the acronym you think it is, we read the results as well as your messages. So oftentimes for like write-in segments, we have the original writer, like they will say what happened, an update or anything, maybe more info, more context. And for the pop culture, current events, time passes on. So sometimes like we have updates with that. And it's a grand old time. We are also on Patreon if you want to watch the video version of the podcast, see how gorgeous and cute we are. And we also do live streams twice a month. If you want to make new friends, new city that you live in, or same city, but you hate the people and you're like, I need some fresh faces. Or you're looking to couch surf as you travel the world. There's people. Oh, surf. I saw someone being like, every time they hear that, anytime someone says surfboard or that song in general, they just hear Nick Miller going surfboard from New Girl. And I was like, that's funny. But yeah, anything else, Melissa? Flawless, wonderful, amazing. Yeah. Oh, let's see. We should do a trigger warning for emetophobia for this one. Okay, hold on. Tell me again. I need a visual. You fought. What are, you're on the window seat? Okay, window. Melisa. And then the father is middle seat. Oh, true. Okay. And then in front of you or behind you said? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. You can't even have enough time to like charge your phone. You like don't even have time to like get your electronics out of your fucking bag. Yes. No. No. Might be genetic at this fucking point. On a tiny plane. Yeah, like as someone who gets motion sickness, like I don't get it really on planes. Like for me, it's like cars and boats. But like even if I know that like when we went to Ecuador, I knew that like Ecuador has some like the windiest roads and that also like altitude wise, like it can fuck with your stomach. I had my C bands on and I was taking Dramamine days before I left. Like there's a level of like, if you know that how you were, cause like that's how I react to extremely high altitude and bad car rides. And so if I know that like I am not just going to be nauseous, I'm going to be throwing up. Like I'm taking Dramamine for the days before. So that's insane. Air marshals, send them to motherfucking jail. That should be a no-fly list. Unless they told them to leave them on the plane. Take your barf bags. Well, I was going to say, I know there was a girl on TikTok who like spent the entire flight in a bathroom because she got food poisoning. And they were like, take your time. And she was like, she like soiled her clothes. And she was like, should I take them? And they're like, no, leave them. It's a biohazard. And she was like, oh, okay. But like, that's if they tell you. You should never just like leave barfy, poopy clothes. No. And like, yes, it's a barf bag, but like, did you just stick it in your seat or did you like leave it on your actual... Ooh. No. Oh my God, that makes me nauseous to think about. This is worst nightmare for... Yeah. As a sympathy barfer, yeah. And also, Dad, maybe not the time to work. Maybe you should be sitting next to... I guess they can't if it's two. There wasn't a way for it. But like, do the kids need to go to wherever you're going? No, it's too hot. They don't need to be there. And as a kid who like, oh my God, I cannot even... one of the greatest things about adulthood is like not doing things or going places that I know that the route to get there, I will throw up. Like there's nothing worse than like just like your parents normalizing the fact that like you barf every time you're in a moving vehicle and like you'll be fine. You feel like shit after. It's not like, oh, I feel a lot better because I threw up. No. You are dizzy, you have vertigo, like your stomach hurts, you have a headache for all this time. That I'm like, don't make your kids do that. It is fucking miserable. It is miserable. I don't do things now that like I avoid things that it's not just like, oh, well, I'll get car sick. Like, no, yeah. No, that's horrible. I remember having barf bags in the car as a kid because like I just would throw up in the car and then it'd be like, hey, we're out to dinner. And I'm like, cool, I'm not hungry. I just got sick. Yeah, those kids are miserable. That's horrible. Horrible. And to do it on a plane, that's awful. You're not wrong for anything. That is horrifying. I would have thrown up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get sick. You're right there. Mm-hmm. No, like when if like Mons is like sick and he's throwing up, I'm like I have to go to the next room. I have to put headphones in and I have to deep breathe and I have to take a Zofran. Cause like just the idea of that, like I don't have a fear of vomiting. I just like, I'm a sympathy barfer. Like it's going to fucking happen. Wow. Mine is a lot more lighthearted. We are back and it's time for my hot take. And my hot take is you should be related to everybody with your last name and names that are close to your name. This all started with Mats and I doing what we do that Melissa makes fun of us, our movie night at home, watching trailers. And we had run back. Actually, we weren't running back. We'd already seen like the first two trailers, but a third trailer had dropped of the Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor movie. And I was like, we are excited to see this movie. Yeah. Yeah, that man is difficult, but boy, oh boy, can he act. And so we were watching it and I made Mott's pause and I said, Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson, they're brothers, right? And Mott's goes, no. And I was like, And he looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, why is that crazy? First of all, they love coloring their movies. They both love directing movies. And like, they're not the same style, but I could see them having some of the same genetics, even half brothers. Like, this is how we end up here. I almost even said I thought they were twins, but I didn't want to push it too far. And then he was like, no. Unless I've never looked at these people. Why would I ever look these people up? But then I went to Guillermo del Toro and Benicio del Toro, and Moms went, also not related. And I said, now that, if you are going to make a whole stink about who can register their names at SAG and the Writers Guild and all of these kinds of things, I'm so sorry that I'm now thinking you're related. And I think like if I met someone with my last name, maybe it's because like I don't have a common last name. And like if I meet someone with my last name, we are related. But like, I think you should be related to people who have your last name. And I also think there's a special caveat that I think if you have 3 names, Jennifer Love Hewitt, God, we have so many of them. Chad Michael Murray. I think all of you are also related. Thank you. You will notice I did pick not Black people for this. I think someone said, I looked at this one, that one said that Guillermo, I looked on an article afterwards of like actors with like the same last name. And one of them was, they found out they had a distant relation. It's not them though. Well, that's... Mm-hmm. What about Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson? Oh yeah, that's like a lot of those British like yeah, because they're, what's that one? Like yeah, like Thatcher and like that kind of stuff. Huh. You don't think that Wes Anderson and Paul Thomas Anderson look a little alike? Okay, that's just me then. Oh, so this also helps with why I associate them. Despite, they share a similar time frame of cinematic output. I guess they're releasing movies at the same time. I just thought that was like a brotherly thing to do. So Mods did point that one out. Mods was like, this is like picking Johnson. And I was like, well, no, not everyone with the same name Johnson is related. And then he was like, I literally just think you think Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson are related. And I was like, yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. But I do think that, wow, there's something wrong with my brain. I literally think they look so much alike. Yeah. They look like they could be weird brothers to me. They've got long jaws too. Yeah. Well, they're British, you're right. Yeah, they've got that long jaw. And wow, Melissa, you just solved this. And you know my thing. I think all British people look related. And you've solved it. And we've come back to this. They colonized and then they said, we got to keep our bloodline. So we are inbreeding. Wow. It all comes full circle. So if anyone else thinks they look related, let me know. But this one is just like, I also think like, it gives me so many questions about how people have to change their names for SAG, but not like your last name can be like exactly this. You can even have like the same syllables or whatever, like changing spelling and anything like that. Because it's like, oh no, people will get confused as if like they're not. That's fair. Like but then you have John and Joan Cusack. You can't tell me that they're not getting each other's paychecks. That's like, we've got 2 letters off. I know. That's what I'm saying. No, Melissa. Yes, and who also has the same. It's the exact opposite of the Hemsworth brothers, where like 2 of them look alike, and the other one's like, damn, who invited him? But like, huh? I guess I just really want an SNL sketch with Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson together, or they do like an opposite day kind of thing for April Fools. One of them like drops a trailer for the other one's movie and it's like shot in that same style. Like, but to be fair, I do think Mott said he's never thought about this before. So I do wonder if I'm the only person who is like, they're not related. Oh yeah, God, what was him? Yeah, like Tim Walz. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yes. Yes. But God, that would just, I just think that like there's an opportunity if you have a director who's like your peer, who like you're releasing the same, like not the same movies, but you're releasing like both very stylized kind of like movies that are very film bro referential, all that. And you're releasing movies, honestly, they release movies almost the same year, like every time. I'm like, damn, you guys are like really right after each other. And then like you just like walk a red carpet and pretend you don't know each other exists. Like, come on, like at least like pretend to be cousins. Like, I just think that would be fun. But I also have never heard either of these men speak. So I don't know if they have the personality for that. I was about to say, making movies for film bros. Yeah. So heady. So heady. Whoa, Paul Thomas Anderson dated Fiona Apple. Wow, someone literally did an IndieWire article is like a link of all of their movies, like side by side have like the same theme that are coming out around the same time. I think they have crushes on each other. I take back my entire new hot take. I kind of ship Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson. I just knew there was a link between the two of them. That's really what I should have gone with because I see no link between Guillermo del Toro and Benicio del Toro. Like, it was just that Benicio del Toro is in the Paul Thomas Anderson movie trailer that started all of this. And I was like, oh, he's not related either. I was like 0 for 2. But yeah, I ship Wes Anderson and Paul Thomas Anderson. Maybe they're the new Coen brothers. Maybe that's why people say that they're brothers in their name. So you don't assume otherwise. Maybe that's what it is. Wait, when did he do that? Who is that man? Wait, he looks like Johnny Knoxville. Wait, doesn't he look like what? Wow, I would not know who that man is. Who is it that he looks so much like that I like could not tell the difference between him and he looks very similar, not when they speak though. Who married Hillary Burton? Really? Oh, and Ghost Marvel. Oscar Isaac? Oh my, all three of them. Put him in a movie. Triplets. Attractive men. Never. If you have to glue it on to keep it, that's fine. Did you see that Graham Norton revealed that like hair transplants for men don't work and that like every actor that you know who has like gotten a thicker hairline that they're just wearing hair pieces? They've got wigs. No, he's like after a certain point they can't do it anymore. He's like, no, it's wigs. And everyone's like, how do you know? And he goes, I have a hair makeup trailer here. I know. Joel McHale. And that hair is still wispy. Yeah, you just put a hairpiece on. Apparently Chris Evans wears wigs. Yeah. Yeah, in like a perfect score. That man he was not gifted with longevity in those follicles. It's totally fine. All I ask is that we don't forget the hairline where we came from. If you had a strong widow's peak, I don't think now is your opportunity to have a thick, full, luscious, straight line across. that to me, yeah, I've got cowlick widow's peak combo. So I just need you to know that, like, we're here to support you in your hair journey, but we're not here to, like, we're not starting from scratch. Let's the bones of this house were good. Let's build up this house. Don't knock it down. Don't knock it down. Okay, the end. We are back. It is time for But Are You Wrong? This is where we read your submissions for the circumstance or situation you have found yourself in that you would like to know if you are in the wrong about. You can send them to butamiwrongpod@gmail.com. We also have a form you can fill out that's listed in our socials, as well as the show notes. And we ask that you keep it under 300 words. Use pronouns if you would like. Gotta tell us how old you are, but tell us the situation and we will tell you if you are wrong. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God, I know exactly what you're going to say. Maybe they can help us. No, I mean, look it up. Yeah, people love Daredevil. That's a crazy fucking statement to make. Wait, hold up. They said this feels like she just played Catwoman in the commercial. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, then it's a new show. Yeah. Well, mostly because, like, did you see Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts is by far the darkest Marvel movie I've seen ever. Like, not to spoil for like anybody, but like the theme of Thunderbolts like is the most like I would say like realistic villain, because like it is like quite literally about like the psychological effects of like mental health and like abuse and like being a prisoner of your own mind. Like it is not like campy and lighthearted and fun. Yeah, watch the first Ant-Man. watch Madam Web. Like there are other ones, and like you're talking to someone who like I'm addicted to bad campy action movies, but like Thunderbolts is like not one at all. And like I SZA is like very talented. I just watched that commercial. I don't know what you saw from that was like she should play Catwoman, because she's not even committed to. She's half like it is like she's being like she's not even like going full into it on purpose. Which I'm like, so do we just want action movies that are just like SNL skits of like people reenacting? Do you know what I mean? Like doing a version of it. Yeah, and the best performances and really campy things are people who like go. It's like Parker Posey or like Kiki Palmer, like people who like do not play into the humor of it at all. Like it is like you go full throttle to that. Like it's not like haha I'm in on the joke. Like you can't be in on the joke if you want it to be like truly campy. And like if we are big believers in bringing back campy productions, and like you didn't mention the one that we talk about all the time, where I think if you truly meant it that you wanted campy things brought back, you would have brought up Scream Queens, and you didn't. And then I'm like, yes. And unfortunately, the world is not ready for it. And like I don't know that that's like SZA's her niche will be like campy things. And I will say too, I think like superhero movies get like a lot of like shit of being like so pedestrian or like not like difficult. The acting in them is actually deeply important, and like that's why the best Marvel movies like involve like actors who you're like, oh, this person like Florence Pugh who can like really motherfucking act, and you're like, oh, okay, this is actually needed to do a really good job at this, because like none of the world is believable. So you really have to sell it and make me believe it as a character like that. I like cannot imagine SZA being excited for like 12-hour days in a harness doing stunts. Yeah. But I think she's like, I'm not like, I'll flip. You can't flip me. Me too. I want to know what you're sick with and if you're on cold medication. Because to me, this is giving a little like, okay, first person we saw, they are the savior of the industry. It is. Yeah, like exciting and fun superheroes being the Thunderbolts from boring serious. And I'm like, for sure. For sure. We did have a scene in that just replays of someone having to like murder another child as a child over and over and over again. Like it's very dark. I love your enthusiasm. I also will say, I love. Yeah. I love a good State Farm commercial. The fact that that's the one that stuck with you, like, no, it has Jason Bateman, who you know terrifies me. But if you also love, is a villain. Yep. Yeah, he commits. He fully commits to it. Yeah, that always trips me up. Stop. He was a child with a job? Mr. Feeney? Sorry. Okay. Like a kid detective or like, oh, okay. Not Doogie Howser. Okay. Okay. Also, once you finish that, watch Transformers. Mr. Feeney. Oh my God. Wait, that's so funny. Yeah. Also, if you want campy action movies, Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and the Furious, Bad Boys 2 for life, Scream Queens, Confession. No, not well. Confession of Tantrum Queen is relatively campy. My favorite movie.
Look, we all know there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. For over 10 years and over 700 episodes, Happy, Sad, Confused has broken movie and TV news every single week. That's because I ask all the questions I want to know, and more importantly, you want to know. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, acting pet peeves, and much more. So whether you're into superheroes, prestige TV, or just the coolest actors and directors alive, you're going to learn something in every episode. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.
Does music really have the power to heal? How can you instantly be more persuasive? What would the world be like if there were no bugs? These are the kind of topics we explore in every episode of my podcast called Something You Should Know. My name is Mike Carruthers, and what we do on Something You Should Know is we find leading experts and curate topics that will impact your life, satisfy your curiosity, or simply fascinate you. Maybe all of the above. Out of all the millions of podcasts in the universe, Something You Should Know is usually ranked in the top 200 of all podcasts on Apple. A lot of people like Something You Should Know, and I'm willing to bet you will too. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have a catalog of over 1,000 shows for you to listen to. Give a listen to Something You Should Know, wherever you get your podcasts.